Welcome to our GYMCAST, episode 7. We are here with the one and only Mr. Steve Kuclo. We just trained, well, they did. They just fucking destroyed their legs at Hidden Gym. Really cool gym. If you guys are ever in Dallas, Texas, check it out. It's fucking awesome.
Bro, as Steve was like warming up with everybody's maxes,
yeah,
my soul already left my body twice.
I mean, it was fucking
Your legs grew like 2 inches though, so
I have to thank you for that. If my soul leaves my body, as long as my legs are grown, we're good.
there you go.
Yeah, usually if I go to a gym, I'm the biggest. Usually I'm the biggest guy there. More in some of the corporate gyms, but dude, when you see Steve, I mean, pictures do him no justice. This guy's a fucking monster. I mean, Mr. Olympia quality right here.
Dear 50, you don't call or write your fans. This will be the last DM I ever send your ass. It's been weeks. There's still no word. I don't deserve it. The last one about my go hurt.
It was an honor to meet him. We went out for lunch after, talked. It was super cool. Super cool, genuine dude. Like, we're excited. We're very happy.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you.
Well,
this is really such a great experience.
I was stoked you guys were coming to Dallas. I said, you know, and after, to me, it's like, you know, in life you click with people, and I love what you guys do online and become a huge fan of you guys. But to meet you guys and to train and then do lunch, I was like, man, you got family in Dallas. So anytime you're here, you're family.
And likewise, we're in South Florida.
Yeah.
Have you ever come to South Florida?
Yeah. Well, we do. My wife's from South Florida, so
awesome.
Sweet.
We return.
Yeah, we'll link. Definitely let us know. We'll link up. Our gym we go to won't be like that one, but you know,
gym.
I think the whole gym will shut down if you go to Crunch Fit. They even allow him
between the both of you. They're like, all right, we can't do this.
This is
well, me at least I look human. I mean, like, I don't even think they'll allow him in there. Like, sir, we don't have the weights for you here. You have to. So, Steve, I want people like. Everyone wants to know you. So, are you done competing?
I'm getting that question a lot.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm done competing. You know, obviously priorities in life right now. We have a son on the way.
Congrats, by the way.
So, you know, he's
awesome.
due in early November. So,
yeah,
priority right now is focusing on that, launching some new business adventures with the upgraded human stuff I'm doing in the personal development coaching. So that's taking priority. But my wife the other day did tell me, she's like, you know, what do you think about the 2024 Arnold? And Arnold's been like my show the last 4 years that I've competed, and it's like the show that I've really strived to win. I was like, you know what, if I'm to win one more show that really hang my hat on, like that is the show that I would love to win. So we'll see if you know, November, December comes around. That's when you got to really start considering getting on stage and start prep for the Arnold. We'll see how things are going. If she's like really encouraging it, then yes. But if I'm like, man, I'm all dad zone and we're doing that, then it's like, you know what, I mean, I've been competing almost 20 years, so
yeah.
You know, right now it's, to me, competing is more from a business perspective than it is like ego. I want a title. It truly is like, hey, you know, I look at everything from a different lens. Being a father to be, being able to provide for the family is number one.
Absolutely. And obviously just speaking a little bit today and everything else, and I know that your priorities as a family man is always first.
Yeah.
Providing, being a man of the house, things like that. You'll be an awesome father, no doubt. And
thank you.
You know, I want to congratulate you on your son.
Thank you. Yeah.
Something that I wanted you to talk about and tell, you know, the people is the upgraded human, because I think that the things you're doing for the masterminds, and I've been following actually a long time, and I've seen such progress. Just, I mean, obviously not knowing you, but through the internet of now with the upgraded human, the masterminds you're doing, the people that you're bringing to the forefront, and all together.
Yeah.
I think that's a force, man, and I think a lot of people need to be cognizant of what's actually to come.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
It's true, man. So upgraded human, it's kind of been a vision of mine over the last couple of years after being involved in many masterminds and seeing the importance of investing in yourself. And when you do that, you see the return so much greater. And I mean, being in the fitness realm and bodybuilding, where you're constantly investing your time in yourself with trying to improve your physique, the way you eat, the way you train, the way you do life. It's very much been around, you know, improving myself. But not only is it just a body thing, but it's like spirit, soul, body. How do you change and upgrade the way you think? How do you change and upgrade the way you are in relationships and who you are as a person deep down inside? Like, so really, Upgraded Human was kind of developed off of core four pillars. It's faith, which the faith with the relationship with God and having faith there and a foundation of life, and then the mindset that wraps around that, and then you have your family, which is your relationship with your wife, your kids, the people you choose to do life with, how to be a good person, how to develop really, really epic relationships. And then next is the fitness component. Obviously, we've got fitness is dialed in pretty good, but fitness component is such a big thing that's really come into the forefront of a lot of successful people in the recent. I think people see the value of being in shape, and where you have more energy, you're able to be a better person all around.
It goes hand in hand.
It does. Like, you're more productive in life, in business. You're able to have better sex. You're able to have all these things. If you're optimized as a human. So fitness is a big component of it, and then the finance part, which is your business. How do you make money? How do you keep money? Invest money. I have a lot of friends that are finance experts, and being an entrepreneur myself, it's like, hey, I could help be able to pour into people of how some. And that's my thing, is I love helping people. I love connecting people. I'm a relationship guy. So, like, I love if somebody calls me or sends me a message, hey, man, I'm looking for somebody to do X, Y, and Z. Renovate my house. Man, I got somebody. I got a friend of mine that I truly would, and I would stand behind, that I trust. So that's been my thing, is like creating a network of like-minded people that really want to invest in themselves, take a chance on themselves, and upgrade themselves.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, and since since we've been talking and everything else, I think that your personality, first of all, it speaks volumes of what you do. Not only are you, so dedicated to the fitness side of things, but just what you said and the way that you look at life, the way you value the relationships, the way you value life itself.
Right.
It says something, and bringing that positivity is something I think we all can get behind, especially in this world today.
Absolutely.
How can people find this?
It's if you follow me or know me, Steve Kuclo, online, I got links and I talk about it on there. But upgradedhuman.com is the website. It's got an app, so it's a downloadable app you can have on your phone, or you can go to the web base, which I do weekly calls where I speak into we have different topics we talk about every week. And then there's times I bring in experts, and whether it's a doctor or finance expert or business expert, whatever it is. Like, I love, because I have a really amazing network of people that I've developed relationships with over the years and alignments, that I'm able to bring them in and they're able to pour into my tribe and say, hey, I had my friend Tony the other day talk about finance and his 11 rules of money, how to make money and keep money, how to invest money. So. It's things like that it's taking years of knowledge and being able to pour into people. If you could, to me, if this kind of stuff was around when I was starting a business, or I was looking at getting whatever it is, like you can learn what you learned in 3 years of school in like 1 month, or you could learn so much in life and advance so much faster by understanding and listening to the knowledge of these people, that, like myself, and the people that coach in my program.
Sure, no, absolutely.
It sounds like this is trend for your brain.
It's trend for your brain, for sure.
How can you not love it? What else do you
That's
need?
an awesome way to put it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's gonna be Upgraded Human, trend for your brain.
I love that, man. I love that.
How was your leg day, Zach?
I can't even stand up, guys. So
yeah.
This is where I'm sitting the rest of the night. Maybe even going into tomorrow. I don't know.
I know. I got an expo here in Dallas this weekend, and I'm like, God, always do legs before that. It's a terrible idea, because I'll be standing all day. Yeah. They'll be screaming tomorrow. But
bro, you were walking through the workout, like I said, with most people's maxes. You're just like, you're pushing rest pauses and things like that. I'm like, holy smokes.
And during the workout, I didn't do legs because I'm a bitch. No.
Now, you grew twice the size. Like witness, you walked in at 270, you left at 300 pounds. I don't know.
I went to the bathroom and injected a gram of insulin.
Yeah.
And the pump just came on. No, the airplane kind of dehydrates you.
Yeah.
So once you start getting your heart rate up, your water intake comes in, get the salt in, you do pump up better. But during your guys' workout, I asked you, what is your split? And you told me you do legs. You typically do one body part a week unless you're getting ready for a prep, and then you do 2 body parts excluding legs. Legs are always 1 day a week that you'd like to do.
Right. And there's times I've done legs twice a week, but to me, like the way my legs are, in order to maintain the fullness of my legs, I need like 1 day a week works really well for me. So I'll beat the crap out of them, you know, and give them time to rest, recover. And then if I'm in prep, usually I'm doing a decent amount of cardio, whether it's 30 or 45 minutes a day, like all that. And being 280, 290 pounds, like there's a lot that your legs have to do, whether in cardio. So cardio is like a leg workout too. So in order to maintain that fullness, I've done once a week leg training, and that's what's helped it stick.
And going to your point, which I think many people make the mistake is like, oh, my legs aren't growing. I'm going to train 3 times a week. Now I'm going to do legs 4 times a week. And in my opinion, they're just deteriorating their muscle instead of letting it heal, letting it grow. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think people, the common mistake with a lot of young lifters and young people that are kind of getting into this is they think more is better.
Yes.
And that's not always, and that goes with supplements, it goes with steroids, it goes with training.
Absolutely.
They think more is better everything. That's not necessarily true. I think if you got to learn your body, what works for you, because every body is different. But you know, you train and you break down your muscle, and then when you grow is when you're resting. You're eating. You're bringing the nutrients back into your body. That's when you're growing. You know, and that's what people. I tell that to people, and you think I've just like told them this how to cure cancer when they're like this light bulb goes off.
Right.
They're like,
wait a second.
Really? That's how it is.
That's
you know?
the magic pill. I have to let my muscles rest for them to grow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And we talked briefly about that with this whole Mike Menser thing that's starting to come around with his old type of training method. And he preaches that. He's like, you go into the gym, you do your 2 exercises, you break down, you leave.
Yeah.
You leave.
Absolutely.
And then and he's like, I think his thing, and I don't know enough about it. I think his thing is a minimum of a 4-day rest day for that muscle group.
Yeah.
Right. Because like the amount of when you're training, there's not only you taxing your muscle, but you're also taxing your nervous system, which that needs to recover and rest as well. And in your younger years, you can recover a little bit faster than, and you know, in their 30s and 40s, definitely recovery slows a little bit, but it is important to give the rest, because the mentor stuff and Dorian training, it's a super high intensity, and it's very taxing on your nervous system, your joints, so you need to allow the time to recover. I was just talking to a friend of mine that he's pretty new into lifting, in his early 20s, and he was like, man, my goal is to hit a 500-pound bench. But he's been like trying to hit maxes every week, and that's a whole different, you know, energy system and the way it taxes your nervous system and your muscular skeletal system. So he's like, man, I hit 430, and I went back the next week, I only got 405. I was like, because you can't keep maxing out every time. Right. You got to give it a little rest, let your body recover, and then come back. So
sure. It's got to take a gram of tren. That's
it. Gram everything.
But going on to the supplement talk and everything else, because everyone tunes in, they love to hear about supplements. Yeah. It's funny because talking with someone like yourself, you've been on a national stage at the Olympia. In my opinion, I'm saying it for me, I think that the judges should have placed you a lot higher than they did.
Thank you.
And I want to make sure that's out there, because that's the God's honest truth. Yeah. That's the God's honest truth.
Thank you.
I've seen you come in unbelievable. But a lot of times people don't understand, these guys, some of them, but a lot of them are not taking a massive amount of supplements to get to where they need to be.
Right.
The training and the diet are so important, it's imperative, like you just said.
Yeah.
So I guess talking supplements, I mean, you don't even need to speak for yourself if you don't want to, but kind of going around, what have you seen in that realm at that top tier?
Well, the number one thing, it's like you said, there's the diet and the training component to it, but the genetics of the guys on the Olympia stage are superior to anybody on Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're absolute freaks.
Yeah.
I mean, they can walk in a weight room without even touching a weight and they grow. Like it's pretty much that. They can breathe air. Like, and I've seen it backstage. I've seen guys pump up and like you did today. Just literally.
If I had great genetics, I'll be like Steve Kuclo and Ronnie Coleman.
I remember seeing I actually told this story to Greg not too long ago, but I was backstage at one of the Olympias. I saw Rolly Winkler, and he was he just took his shirt off, and I'm like, he doesn't look like he's that ready. He looks a little soft. I'm like, all right, I'm not really worried about it. And then he started pumping up, and then 20 minutes later, I turned around, and I looked at him, and I was like, what the hell just happened? Did he put like an air hose up his ass and just blew up? It was insane what he was. I mean, it just shows you the genetic component to it. He's a big boy too. He's a big player, and they do have the chemistry part right. They have that dialed in. They have the nutrition dialed in, and they have the training dialed in. It's been years to learn that.
Sure.
And there is guys that do a good amount of steroids. Sure. Absolutely. Like there's guys that take it to extremes, 100%. But most guys, you'd be surprised, and most people would think they're lying. Like I tell people what I took for Olympias. It was probably rival most state level stacks for guys. Sure. Like it was not too extreme. That's really why I've been able to do it so long. And like you said earlier, we were talking. Yeah. You see people that are guys that kind of they look like they may be 29, 30 years old, and they look like they're 50 years old. And you're like,
right. You look at them and they're just you just see it. They're just unhealthy looking in their face, in their eyes. They're just like
because what's going on inside, it's starting to kind of creep onto the outside, and
that's another thing as a pro bodybuilder. I mean, I have to believe that you are so in tune, blood work, making sure you're getting whatever type of scans you might need or whatever that looks like. You guys are so in tune with, I think, the medical aspect too, to make sure that hey, what you're doing is not truly messing you guys up.
Right. And a lot of people think, bodybuilders are stupid. Actually, they're pretty intelligent when it comes to the scientific part of the sport. Like, they've been little scientists behind the scenes, like, learning their body and trying things. And I mean, it's stuff that's never been studied at the level that, we do it at. It's an extreme level. Yeah. And to see like, the development of the sport where it was in the 70s to 80s to where it is today, some of these guys, I mean, you got freaks of nature, but
it's so true. Going back to your point, is that people assume, oh, he's a big bodybuilder. He's just a meathead. He has nothing up here. But listen, do you know what it entails? Like, you have to be so fucking precise with everything, and it's a mathematical equation going on in your head. You have to really be in tune with your body. It's so much mental capacity going on in there to be at a top level. Don't get me wrong, you could be a big guy and just your diet is shit, you really don't know what the hell's going on, you go in the gym, you just push heavy weight, you take tons of shit. But there's levels to this, and when you get on a certain level, you have to have a great capacity in your head to do that.
Absolutely.
I think that's a very
I mean, if you look at like just the qualities of it, I mean, they're ultra dedicated, they're ultra consistent in the nutrition, and I mean, yes, there's people that look insane that probably can get away with a lot more leeway on diet and stuff like that. Sure. But in general, like the amount of discipline that it takes to get to that level is at a level that most people are unwilling to go to because it's such an extreme sacrifice at the same time.
So
you're sacrificing the time and your energy, and you're sacrificing relationships, and so there's a lot of things that do suffer to get at that level. But if you look at the ultimate reward or like what your goal is with it, you have to look at that. But
I've heard sorry to cut you off, but it's funny. I heard bodybuilders is like once you get in, pro guys that have spoken. Once you get into that zone, and you can probably appreciate this, and during prep, and you're starting to narrow in, and you're going on that last month, 2 months, whatever it is, and there's nothing else that really matters. Don't call me, don't text me, I mean, obviously it's extremes, but to a degree that you're really like everything on the outside, you can't.
You definitely suffer. Like I was kind of like thinking about some things, and I always joked when I was prepping, like literally like something could be shitty on TV, and the remote could be like right over here. But you're like, I just don't have the energy to like reach over there. I'll watch this shitty program. I'll watch The View instead of maybe The View. I would actually give enough energy to do. But
I was about to say, come on.
But I'm saying like it gets to that point where you're just so tunnel vision that you kind of cut off emotion, and then you have to like in order to kind of have decent relationships through prepping, you got to communicate this with your significant other, your spouse. Sure.
Like they have to be understanding.
They have to be understanding, but you just can't assume they're understanding of what you're going through, what you feel. So I've always said like you know, the last couple preps, I'd be like, babe, you know, if I'm a little more quiet, like, just understand it's not because I'm mad or anything. Like, I'm just tired. Like, you know, and but I don't like to make that an excuse not to be my best. You know,
that also I mean, I understand that. You're a different kind of person, and the way that you handle and carry yourself, that's you. Like, a lot of these guys are not as a lot of these guys are extremely selfish.
Yeah.
Let me say it like that. Yeah. But you know, obviously, you know, your personality, the way you handle and carry yourself, you know, everything. I couldn't speak enough about that, and I want everybody to also know that as well.
Definitely, definitely, and yeah, it was our pleasure to meet the king here, Steve Kuclo. You know, we had a great time, and we'll be back for sure.
Yeah, we'll be talking about stacks and cycles and.
Of course,
no,
absolutely.
No, I love what you guys are doing, man. You know, you're getting out good information, but you're doing it from a lot more lighthearted spot, and it's not as. I think this world needs to laugh a little more. Need to have more comedy.
Exactly.
You know, you do things from a level of respect too. You're not like trying to trash people, but you know, we don't. And that's what I love about you guys. So I encourage you to keep doing it, and you're on to something great here.
I appreciate that, Steve.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
It means a lot to me from you. It really does.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a true fan. Well, I mean, I'm wearing the shirt. I mean, only trend. Now available. 50% Natty.
This is the Steve Kuclo edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he'll have them signed, and we sell the signature ones for $1,000 each.
With posing trunks in there too. Sweaty underwear, maybe.
Hey, don't kid yourself. There's a thing for that.
There really is. There is. I know.
All right. Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you for being on.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
You guys are awesome.
Amazing having you, Steve.
Thank you.